All right, guys, hopefully you licked your wounds from this past weekend's UFC 235 card. It was epic, but now we got to turn the page and talk about UFC on ESPN Plus 4. So what we have here is a main event of Derrick Lewis versus Junior Dos Santos. Dos Santos is the favorite at about -220. Derrick Lewis comes back at about +180. Fish around, look for the best odds. Dan, Tom, who do you like?
Man, I hate breaking down Derrick Lewis fights because I like the guy, but you know, as an analyst, I end up almost on the same sides of the odds makers, which is scary because Derrick Lewis doesn't exactly get a ton of respect. He's always the underdog, but it's always the same story. What he is really good at, he's really good at. His intangibles or tangibles of power, of being able to come back, preserve himself deep in fights, even play possum to some extent. Of course, he's got devastating ground and pound. He's always live no matter what phase of the fight, no matter what time of the fight we're in, right, guys? But at the same time, I still find myself leaning toward the more technical striker in Junior Dos Santos. I mean, Derrick Lewis said so himself. He usually does better against wrestlers, people trying to wrestle him, ironically enough. It's the people who've tried to strike with him, like the Matt Mitriones or Mark Hunts, that have given him trouble. I see this looking one of two ways, guys. It's going to either look like the Mark Hunt fight, where we're going to see the more technical striker break him down over time, or it may look like his fight at UFC 229 with Alexander Volkov, where we can see him getting pieced up, but he's going to have that comeback shot, and Junior Dos Santos will give him moments. Junior Dos Santos, very athletic, but we've seen him take damage in victory and defeat. Not a trend you want to keep having continue. I'm going to go with Dos Santos here, guys, to maybe build and make it look more like that Mark Hunt fight, but am I confident in it? No. I hate picking against the Black Beast. Part of me is always rooting for that guy, but the pick's Dos Santos.
All right. How about you guys?
I love his breakdown. I thought a lot of the same stuff, but I went the other way because I think Junior Dos Santos can't give Derrick Lewis those openings. I think if he's patient, I think Derrick's only chance is just to really turn it into that sloppy fight, because Junior does allow himself to get hit, to give a few punches, and you can't do that with a guy like Derrick Lewis. But really, if you go back and look at some of Derrick Lewis's fights, he's been able to get some victories, but he hasn't really looked too great in some of those. And a guy like Junior Dos Santos is a seasoned veteran, but he's also getting older, and he's taken a lot of damage throughout his career. I flip-flopped. When I walked into the studio today, I had Junior Dos Santos flip-flopping over to the Black Beast.
All right. So it's 1-1. I guess I'm a tiebreaker.
I don't feel very confident, though. I'll tell you that right now. And I might flip by the end of the breakdown.
Well, if Junior Dos Santos can fight like he did after Tuivasa was letting him have it, or before Stipe Miocic let him have it in the second fight, you know, remember he was kicking his calf?
Yeah.
He actually, you know, hurt Miocic a lot. And in the Tuivasa, it's almost like he hit a switch where he just went for it, and that's what got him the win against Tuivasa. But he's getting, what strikes me is he was getting hit easy, and I don't know if it's just because he's older, just more damage, he doesn't take some of those punches like when he was younger or what. And that's what scares me, and that's what has me leaning towards Derrick Lewis. But again, if he could just combine the patience from some of these select fights that he's had, box like he does, but he's gotta cover up, all right, then I think he can probably win a decision 29-28 over Lewis, if he can do that. Problem is, Lewis just hits so damn hard, and he's never out of it, and now he knows that he can go all the way down to the 9th inning, 3 balls, 2 strikes like he did against Alexander Volkov, and still put someone's lights out. It all depends on how much these guys trained, man. Lewis, I saw some videos of him recently, and he didn't look as big as I've seen him in other fights. So, man, if that cardio is on point, and he can just give me like 15 to 20 significant strikes per round, I just have a feeling one of those can hurt Dos Santos, and he can get out of there with the W. But if he's just not throwing and he has lulls, and maybe he starts letting Junior Dos Santos get going, and especially that calf kick scares me, then I think Junior Dos Santos is going to win. So what I did was I kind of give you guys, I guess, how I've envisioned how the fight could play out, except I think the result that I keep seeing over and over is just Lewis's power. I mean, even if you block his punches, it seems like the power is still there, and he hurts people, and then he has the ability to capitalize and finish. So I'm going to go with Derrick Lewis winning via TKO, but again, late round 2, early round 3, and he may even lose round 1.
He's going to have a lot of time to do it. I mean, George is right. 15 minutes is a long time to be in there with Derrick Lewis. And let's not forget, guys, it's going to be 25 minutes. It's a main event. So that's a long time to be in there with a guy like Derrick Lewis. So I really don't blame you guys for taking that shot, or anybody taking the shot on Derrick Lewis. I'll probably
Plus,
regret
I get the odds. I get the odds of plus 180, so...
Believe me, I'll probably regret picking against him again. Derrick Lewis is probably gonna smack me next time he sees me. I keep picking against him like this. Boy, I tell you.
There you have it. There's the main event breakdown for UFC on ESPN +4. It takes place in Wichita, Kansas on Saturday. And, of course, here at MMA Junkie, we got you covered.